gonna make you some pop EDM kind of thing. This has been coming in the last couple years as EDM and prog house is kind of taking over the mainstream, and pop is basically some nice plucks, some really smooth melodies with some vocals on top. Basically in this episode, I will take the plucks, I will compose, I put the bass, and I build the let's say the background, and then in the second episode, the one after this one, I will add some vocals to it from our large collection on WeMakeDanceMusic.com. Did I say WeMakeDanceMusic.com? Yes, I did say WeMakeDanceMusic.com. Basically, I'm going to select some vocals, listening to the track, and thinking, okay, that could fit in there, so I'm going to download it from our site, put it onto the track, and make a full vocal template for you guys. Like I just said, every single episode comes with a template, so those 2 episodes I will make only one template, but it will also include some vocal, which I will time, which I will mix, which I put in the track properly, guys. So if this is your first time watching, guys, it's another 315 episode to watch. I always make music in real time to really show you the full process of just getting started. For this specific episode, took an A minor chord because the track I'm inspired by is Kaskade Time Deadmau5. It's called Escape. Very good track. I mean, I don't have a vocalist like her to do this track, but it's a pretty nice kind of pop EDM track that has a lot of emotion, but it's still the original style of Deadmau5 and Kaskade. So let's get into it, guys. Loaded a chord progression here, A minor. Put a kick drum underneath just to get a starting point, so I'm not doing everything literally from scratch because it will take more time, and I want to go a bit deeper, like really in the production side of things, not literally the details. So it's all about production, guys. It's about what you do and what you start with. So this is the chord progression. I mean, I'm gonna give myself some. I mean, like this, it sounds like absolutely nothing, but we're just getting started, guys, of course. So I put the kick in there, important part. Also tune the kick in A minor. Everything, even the snares, everything will be tuned to the key of the chord or the track, the root key of the track, which does make a difference. I could also do this here, go and set the, not A sharp minor, but A minor here. Set even the sequencer, so if I want to adapt, change, it will adapt to it. Not really a necessity, but could be useful. So first thing I'll do is I'll replicate this, and I want like this pluck sequence, which is super basic. I mean, guys, I don't know when Deadmau5 wrote this part, or I don't know what was the story about this. I think I heard this, The Longest Road, Morgan Page, and Deadmau5 Faxing Berlin were the first track, and really kind of got this kind of feel to it. I think I will probably drop them a whole octave because they sound a little bit high, I think, for my taste. Oh, I forgot to say that I'm actually using Sylenth one, pluck Deadmau5 thing. I mean, I didn't have to look very far to find that, guys. Oh, I actually didn't. I have to put one more here. It's more of the rhythm, or let's call it the pace. So the idea is to have this background thing going like this. There's 2 or 3 different, so quite similar really. I think this one open well. I mean, you have to recognize that, guys. It's so, for me, after all those years, it's so prevalent. I still remember when Deadmau5 hit #1, I think, overall on Beatport, like in those days, and it was such a big deal. In fact, Berlin was such a track, and I was playing it, and wow, what a new kind of thing. So I think the first thing to do with this was definitely to put a sidechain onto this synth channel. Take the compressor here. Take the instrument, this is our kick. Put a higher ratio, just pump it a little. You can hear already the difference is already there. Put a faster, I like a fast attack, maybe sometimes the release a bit slower. So basically I do like this, but I'm tempted to, let's say, do variation. So I'm gonna replicate this track first, mute one track, which I drop the midi in, and then go into our main tracks here. And I think I will drop first. I will remove the bass here. because I don't really want this bass because I will use something else for the bass. Take the whole thing and drop it an octave. No, not working quite the way I would like to. Then I will leave it because the keys seem to work very well where they are. Okay, so I can hear some reverb here onto the synth, which is doesn't sound extraordinary if you want my opinion. So I'd rather have the signal dry like this. Then what I will do is I'm going to use a EQ here. I'm going to go to sampler there. I'm going to use the EQ, and this is going to be a vintage collection here, vintage tube, stereo. I'm going to use a preset that's called Big Synth. I'm going to kind of chug this up a little bit without. So now we're closer to maybe like kind of a moogie kind of analog sound. Good start, I would say. And I'm going to put a send here. I'm going to do my bus. The bus is going to be a reverb. I'm going to start with a super huge reverb, but I'm probably going to tame it down a little bit because for this type of track it might be a bit much. Let's send a little bit to it to see. What I like to do with my Reverb Channel is right away cut the low end, cut the top two, make it floaty kind of in the back, not too much of the top. Can hear, it takes a lot of room. You know, we're gonna need this room for the vocal later, so I think now we have kind of a nice ambience. I think it's a bit too big. I would probably put the size a lot. I still want nice big verb feel, but not. So let's do it. Open EQ. No, not at all. And then this size seemed to be okay. Let's just cut it completely. So what I'm gonna do too, which I like to do if you watch my other episode, guys, copy my sidechain onto the reverb. It's a bit much now, so I think I'll probably put the threshold a lot higher. I want to achieve a little bit of compression. So you can really hear it. So I'm literally sidechaining the reverb signal, the very wet reverb signal. So I'm pushing it a little bit more in the back every time the kick hits. I think we have something decent. Let's open it. So because we cut the reverb high, when I put it up, the reverb won't go and really take all the space when I open the filter. So this is a good thing. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just repeat what we have, let's say 4 times. So we can start building. So that's a decent bass. There's a little bit of a decent bass. There's a decent bass or bass, Jesus. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into more of a bass line. I'm going to really take this separate part here and really just create a bass line with it. I'm not sure if I will keep this pattern. Let's give it a try first. It would be easy just to keep this pattern. Maybe I will make it a little bit different, make it a little bit more pumpy. So I'm going to go into those bass here. I don't think it might be a bit too low, so I might bring it up an octave, depending on the preset that is. This is a bit too acidy. Gonna drop the tube EQ. Kind of don't really want it to be so over the top. So like I said, good. I would really like to have the sub on, but By the way guys, completely forgot in my intro, I wanted to talk about this thing. I'll talk about it in the next episode. This is Sound ID reference by Sonarwork, where I will just really make the room ideal for recording. I'll talk about it a little bit later, because I was thinking about the bass and I was thinking about the sub, which is sitting underneath this decks, but totally forgot, so not a big deal. Something. Not sold on this just yet. I do like the tone of this one. I think I'm gonna play a little bit with the side chain here. I think I'm going a bit heavy, but make it slower. It's gonna be smoother on the rebound. I do like this. Like I said, it doesn't blow my mind, but it's sitting well underneath the kick. I think the reverb is a bit too intense here. It's hard to hear in headphones. Judging a reverb in headphones is a bit difficult. Now, let's do a little bit of percussions to try to, you know, when I do tracks like this, I like to kind of build it up so I can kind of build up the feel of what it is or what it will be as it build up in my head. I'm gonna do like also kind of the feel and the style of the Deadmau5 that it's known for, really minimal percussions, really rarely a snare, mostly claps. I think this is a decent clap. I'm not gonna go too particular on this. Like I said guys, an important thing is that everything is tuned. So basically when I replicate the MIDI, I keep the original MIDI and it is in tune, so it's again in A minor. So does it make a difference in the end? Yes. Right away, maybe a little bit, but it's not. I just feel like recording a melody, which will definitely come in a couple of minutes, guys. That's my own touch. I'm not sure if I would have to listen to the originals deeply, but this is for me, this is a necessity. And Conga on there could be a good idea here. So I have those two that are hitting here, so I'm going to try to kind of answer them. This one is good here. In the back. I have the send delay here. Let's hear what the delay has to say. I'm going to put that only 1 out of 2. Very basic guys, very simple to start with. What I would like to do now is to drop a pad in the background. Probably will use Alchemy for that, so I'm going to take the original chord progression here, drop it in there. And of course I will compose something in the key a little bit later, but it's not always really necessary. I would say, watching a few Deadmau5 video, I've rarely seen them play keyboard. Now wait, it doesn't have a keyboard. So it's not really the way to compose for a lot of us, so I'm gonna go into, of course, Alchemy here. I'm gonna pick a pad. The pad would be, I'm gonna go to pads, of course. Just gonna randomly click on something just for fun. Ensemble Ultima, right, great. Maybe not. enveloped in warm hair. Oh, that I like. On the beach. Kind of looking for something a bit more. Could be interesting for some effect later. Almost make me think of like the Police or something now. Not this sound, but like kind of the overall kind of feel. Good thing to do, Control A, right click, color region by track to name region by tracks, because I keep on replicating the MIDI, so it's always good to now having a name on the MIDI. Oh, that's cool. Let's have a not so bad. It was kind of nice, but not. Not I like. I'm going to send that to our bus here in the reverb a little bit. Not quite. It will come. Wow, love this synth, guys. Every time I open it. Ooh, that I like. Trippy in the back kind of thing. Very, very good. I think listening to this, I'm gonna just boost the kick here a little bit to get to be very, and then I'm gonna lower the volume. I want it to have more presence, have more punch. So a nice start to a track now. Now I will attempt, like I said, attempt to record some kind of a melody on top of this. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. It's the reality of doing what we do, knowing what I do, I guess, in real time. So I'm gonna go into plucks, and I think there's one that I really like to get started. It's 4 AM. Take a bit of coffee. An easy key. You know, just like this. Then of course we make something with it, but it's, you know, with some effect, some, you know, working around. First quantize. Not quite where it belongs. I'm gonna give it a bit more power here. Ah, that's better. Now to cut the lows of this, really. Still, I I still want to give it some body here, but I want to make sure I don't have any low end taking it there to make this part more powerful. Then I think I will tame the top a little bit. I could open it, not what I'm looking for. I want it to sit in the background a little bit. Kind of like a happy, kind of summery. I like that, guys. This is fun. There's more coffee, so. What I'm tempted to add, like, it's a bit of like an RP kind of thing. I'm tempted, like, just to add a bit of more of a groove. I think I will go into. I'm gonna go into this bass here, which is really, really good. But I think we could have like some kind of maybe organy, kind of throaty kind of thing. There's a bit on top of this to really bring the groove a bit forward. So I'm gonna, I'm just gonna take these midi here. I'm gonna even make it into a shorter part that will hit even further here, and then I'm gonna go. Sylenth, not necessarily. I think it will go also into alchemy here. It's gonna be easier for me. And then I'm gonna go organs. You know, something not necessarily organy, but you'll hear what I'm looking for here. Oh, that's okay. Not necessarily the sound, but the feel of what it does adding. This one is good, really. I'm gonna go into the EQ here, cut the lows. Always keep the low end clean, guys. Very, very important. Sound and look quite good. I'm gonna put my secondary ruler here. I have 30 seconds of a track here. Move this MIDI. I think we have it in there, so we don't need it. I'm gonna make it into, let's say, we're gonna put some vocals, so we're gonna need a bit more room. Let's say a 3-minute track, almost 3 minutes, like kind of a vocal, kind of pop track. And then now we have a lot of room to play. I'm gonna check the timing here. 25 minutes. Have some more time. We'll keep going. So it's just without. In some parts, you know, when we're really going into the full-on part of the track where everything is in, I'm gonna use that. I think I'm gonna use a bit of a ride too, which probably Deadmau5 and Kaskade wouldn't. I don't really care. What I'm doing is something that's inspired by. I'm not the type of guy who literally copy track. I kind of base my creation on the ideas. This is music I really love to do, so I don't really need to copy a track to make something interesting for you guys. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of an intro. I have the principal track, right? So when you do another trick, guys, you have to really know about this. When you do a vocal track, try to pull back, you know, as a producer and leave some room for the vocals. Because if you go all in, you put too much stuff, you can try to fit the vocal and it's just not gonna work. The vocals are the main instrument in the vocal track, of course. I think the first thing I would do with this here is probably just start with straight up kick for quite some time. Because I think it has enough substance to go on with just the kick. I'm gonna remove those plucks, of course, because we're just starting the track. I'm gonna remove this organ, of course, because we're just starting the track. I'm also gonna remove the bass because we're just starting the track. I'm gonna go in here, put it on touch, go into Sylenth, drop the cutoff, go and pick off my cutoff here in the automation. Here, remove the touch, guys, always. I mean, I do this touch, but I could automate it directly, but it's better for me to do this way. This plug to this pad, I mean, I don't know if I can filter it too, maybe. Interesting filter, so now I have a bit more of a kind of an organ kind of feel, and if I open it, I guess the pad is coming in. So I think I'll bring it a little bit further. And another great tricks to learn if you do automations, because if you don't, you're missing out on, you know, really one of the most powerful tools that a DAW gives you. So I have the automation, of course, on the filter here. I have another automation that I will write here that will be on the bus send. I'm gonna do this here, poof, just write some automation, and then of course this is the send bus with the reverb. So you can start let's start completely dry. Well, maybe not completely dry. So as you move to the track, you can use that to really enhance the listener experience. As you send more to the reverb, of course, and you're feeding. Here, I would do like a simple kind of double kick bounce, like pop pop, just to enhance a little bit the fact that we're moving and adding another part. But is there a crash on there? Yes, there's a crash here. I'll probably start with the crash depending on the crash. Oh, this is a perfect crash actually for what I was looking for. I'm gonna zoom to look where is the root key of a crash. It's right there. That is perfect. It's really smooth, so it's not too in your face. This is necessary or not, depends. It's like a matter of taste. Some people put it everywhere, some people don't. It's really, you hear that a lot in rock and a lot of genre music where to mark the changes, you know, the drummer was hitting the crashes, so maybe not. And this from the deep here, I have to automate it a little bit because it's not open enough to get the pad in. Ooh, that sounded good. I think I will also bring this up like this. So, and then the question of, you know, if you have an intro like this and you think you're gonna bring some vocals into the track, I think I will not even bring the beat first. You know, I think we'll introduce the vocals. Maybe there will be already vocals in the first little bit there. And I'm thinking I will probably bring the bass in. Not everything, of course, that you see here. Definitely not the melody. Not the organ. The organ would be, I think, only in the main part. So now the bass is coming in. I'm gonna check this pad still has a lot to offer. Depending, of course, on how the vocals are building into the track. So this is the auxiliary send, which is the reverb. I can actually open a track for it too. And this is the filter pad out here. So if we want to make a big change before this part goes here, you can really, I'll show you guys. Go a bit crazy. And if we want, we can send a lot. And again, you know, as I build the track, I'm thinking there's gonna be vocals, so I'll leave myself some room to be able to mix it, and then here we're gonna go in. So guys, this is gonna be it for episode 316 of your live electronic music tutorials. I hope you guys enjoy. Template is gonna be in the link below. Check out the second episode where I'm gonna add vocals, work on the track, make it more of a vocal track. You might think it's simple, but I think this is all you need really. Well engineered, well mixed, and really choose the right vocal. That's gonna work perfectly. And of course, until next time, it sounds good with you guys.